Welcome to Tolkien Trivia Tuesday for this Tuesday, July 7th, 2015. The time is 2:34 p.m. Eastern Time here in upstate New York, southern tier of New York State, where I live and reside. Got a live broadcast going on here for Tolkien Trivia Tuesday. We've got a couple of viewers. Mark D. Edmonds, how are you doing, sir? Glad to see you. And we got Viral, and we have one web viewer. And this is episode, what episode is this? Episode 18. We're reading through the book, and as far as Tolkien Trivia, done on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons from broadcast live from upstate New York. Fireman Rich. You can follow me over there on Twitter. Of course, I'm broadcasting here at the computer desk. And there we are. Hello. Just had a little intro slide there. And we're down to one viewer. Two web viewers. Okay. Looks like we're just going to have the web viewers. And just wait a few minutes here. And yes, it did tweet it out. Did tweet out on the Twitter sphere. We're down to one web viewer, so we're going to be doing Tolkien Trivia. Is that reversed? You know, that's reversed, where if it was Android, on the replay it would be reversed, but on this, it's reversed when I'm seeing it, but replay it's not on iOS. Interesting. I did do a Periscope this morning on the walk coming back through the golf course on Android, and I think I abruptly shut down the Android a little bit too quickly to where it did not save to the camera roll. I believe I do not have a camera roll bug on my Android before we get started with the Tolkien Trivia here at the computer desk, because the reason for that is primarily it's pretty hot and humid out right now. Humidity is very high, and the current temperature here is 83, feels like 87, and humidity is very high. So I'm going to stay indoors where it's cool for a change. So we're going to continue here with, got 10 questions, 10 answers on trivia pertaining to Mr. J.R.R. Tolkien, one of my favorite authors, and I enjoy doing this as far as utilizing Periscope platform. And I'm on the iOS operating system on my iPad mini. I want to save these. I archive them to YouTube. So thus the Wi-Fi. I have more faith in the Wi-Fi right now than I do the Android on the Android phone. And we have Paul Omani joining us. Hello, Paul. Good afternoon from the southern tier of New York State. And what you need?
Oh, I was just putting
it. Okay, that's okay. You're okay. We're going to be starting here with, we got 3 viewers now. So we have Mr. Paul Omani from Cork, Ireland. He graces us, and I greatly appreciate you being in on the broadcast, sir. Though, and hopefully it is dry there in Cork, because I take from the replay on your yesterday's Periscopes, it was pretty wet. And the problem with the drains, which I think every municipality has a problem with the drains. We do have 2 web viewers, whoever you may be viewing this live broadcast. One of the aspects I love about Periscope, it's live. We have 4 viewers now. So we've got David from Party World. Hello, David. Good afternoon. And actually over there in your part of the world, it's about 7:40 over there in Ireland. So David, we have Mr. Paul Omani. Omani Blog is honoring, and it's always a great honor to have him. He is one of the trailblazers that I consider here on this application called Periscope. He's all done along with a partner of his, a training class there in Cork. As I believe it's Periscope Cork or Cork Periscope. I'm not sure. So I want to give that a plug. Can't see or hear you, Rich. Really? My volume is up. David, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I might have to restart. Everything okay my end. Okay. So David can hear me. Problem my end. Oh, okay, Paul. You could bug out, and if you got your Mac up, you could probably do the web view to take part and stuff like that to listen, or else put up the web view to listen, and then you can still type in using the comments. So you're using two processes to get through. It's sort of stitching things together. I like doing that, stitching things. Okay, Paul is rejoining us. So, but we're going to start here because I've been babbling for over 5 minutes. I guess waiting for. Is that any better, Paul? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, we got a tweet. And there's an event going on. Scotty Vest has tech on deck, and now on 3G. Perfect. Oh, okay. I thought you were on 4G, Paul. I thought you broadcast on 4G because your camera. Oh, incidentally, David, my broadcast from this morning, it did not save to the camera roll, but I think I have it figured out. If you shut down too quickly, you got to give it a chance to save onto the camera roll. I guess at the end there, I was taking a cell call, and when I answered that cell call, that shut down my Periscope. So learning on the Android is fun with Periscope. So let's start with our questions here. Question number 1. Where we left off last, my house isn't great for 4G. Really? Okay. Okay. No, where we left off last week, we were talking about Morgoth, and let's see, and we're talking about this individual that I have no clue about because it deals with the Silmaril, which is a book unto its own. It's sort of the creation of Middle Earth. They came out after The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. A very, very complex read, I guess, for Tolkien because it's... I guess when I first tried it, the one attempt, I think I tried reading it twice. Clueless for once, Rich. Yes, that reading that book, I was clueless because I equate it back when I tried reading it, reading the Bible. That's how in depth it was. But where we left off last week, we were talking about this particular elf what happened when he reached the shadows, and the guy we were talking about was Endel. The mariner, the elf that sailed west. And what happened to him when he reached the shadows is the question. The shadows being, again, that's from the Silmarillion. Where he vowed to pursue Morgoth, who was Eärendil was the good guy, and Mondo, is that the proper name? Morgoth was the bad guy. So, what happens when he reached the shadows? The answer is when I better go read Lord of the Rings before next show. Well, actually, a lot of these questions that I'm going to be going over tonight or today, Paul, they're out of the Silmarillion, which, like I said, it's a whole different type of read. It's pre-Hobbit, pre-Lord of the Rings, basically. But the story didn't come out, I think, until after J.R.R. Tolkien passed away. I think his son and a publisher put it together afterwards because of the popularity. And that's a good. I'm gonna try and read it again once I get done through here. I don't think I'll be reading on Periscope, that's for sure, because there's a lot of tongue-tying words in Tolkien's literature here. So, but the answer to that first one, when Urundel, the mariner, approaches the shadow that bar his passage, his ship is driven back by a irrepressible wind. 3 times this wind of wrath repulsed his great craft. Defeated and dejected, he returned to port. So he's an elf sailor that could not get past this particular point where he was sailing. Okay, what part does his wife, and we're talking about Irundel, what part does his wife, Elf Maiden, Elwing, the White, subsequently play in his mission? And I know what our answer is, David. It's going to be clueless. And who do we have? We have David. Okay, we just have David and Paul. And no web viewers, which is fine. You know, if the answer, clueless. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one for all of them, seeing that we don't have Greg here. She distracted him. Through the power of Ulmo, Elwing, the wife, comes to her husband at sea, flying to him in the shape of a white seabird. The Silmaril she carried. Now the Silmaril, that's a jewel, okay? It's a very powerful jewel. And that's the thing. You don't hear about them in The Hobbit or the Lord of the Rings. But the Silmaril she carried on her breast enables Iredell to pass the shadows. So there's power to the Silmaril. Eventually, he reaches the shore of Eldamar. After further journeying, he reaches the Valar and convinces them to send forces to save the elves and men of Middle-earth, because there was a big battle going on. There was a battle of good and evil before The Hobbit. This is long before The Hobbit took place with Bilbo. Bilbo at this time is still a child, I think, Paul, to my recollection. Okay, question number 3. By what other name is Morgoth known? Now, Morgoth, he's the bad guy in the Silmaril. He's the freaking, he is a bad dude. I think he's the guy that eventually ends up with the ring. By what other name is Morgoth known? And our answer, David, is going to be in the spirit of Turbo Stream. Mr. Clueless, exactly. I like that answer. That's a classic answer here. That's sort of a joke we have that Turbo Stream there, Paul. His answer, he uses that answer quite well when he's here in the broadcasts. So let's see. By what other name is Morgoth known? Before the theft of the Silmaril, Morgoth is known as Melkor. Melkor, that's a pretty evil name. I've heard of that name in video games. Later, he is called the Enemy, the Dark Lord, and Bauglir. 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 I don't know. Like I said. Hey, speaking of clueless, here's Mr. Turbo Stream himself. Hello, Adrian. We've already used your answer twice. Actually, 3 times. We're on question number 4. Adrian, Paul Omani is in the... Or is he? We only have 2 now. I think Paul just jumped out. He's probably... Hello, I was clueless about the time. Oh, no problem, Adrian. You're here now. We're pressing on with question number 4. We left off a lot of these questions, from what I'm gathering here, they're from up until the last 3 or 4. They're dealing with the Silmaril, where we left off last Thursday. So this is question number 4. How does the first age end? And I know Greg would probably know this. How does the first age end? Remember, there was a big war going on. Question 1 through 4, clue. Yes, hello, David. Adrian. I love that. That's great. Oh, I'm gonna get. We should get. You know. Here you go, Adrian. a T-shirt that says "Clueless." That would be classic, you know. Tolkien Trivia, Clueless, 5282. Okay, how does the first age end in Middle Earth? With the destruction of Morgoth. And the question before that, Adrian, just what other names is Morgoth known by? Yeah, there we go. That too, David. Clueless Club. Before the theft of the Cimmerel, Morgoth is known as Melkur. Later he's called the Enemy, the Dark Lord, and he's also known as Bagler. Okay, question number 5. How do the elves refer to this epic? There's a big war going on. If I can go back a couple pages, what was the name of the war? A big conflict that was going on. What was the longest and most terrible war in the record of Middle Earth? That was a question before. That was 1, 2. Oh, it was the War of the Great Jewels. That's the war. The War of the Great Jewels. Because remember, I guess having never read the Cimmerel, I gathered from these trivia questions, Morgoth stole the Cimmerel, and they recaptured it. But how does the elves refer to this epic? And we're all clueless here, but the answer is they call this age the Elder Days. The Elder Days after that conflict. Oh, let's see. We got question number 6, and we're coming up. This is up to The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, so this might sound familiar. Just to let you know, Adrian, I told David and Paul Lamani here that I guess my Periscope that I did earlier today on the golf course, returning back on the walk with Max, that it didn't. There's not going to be a replay on that because I got the so-called not compatible file on my smartphone, and I think what it is I shut down too quickly to answer my cell phone, and that caused it not to save. So, and I remember when I did going for the donuts Periscopes a week or so ago when I was going into the day job. I waited a minute after I got done with the Periscope, and then I checked the replay, and it played on the phone. So some personalities I'm finding out about Android. Okay, question number 6. Let's see, Adrian, one of the minds did that on a call on iOS. Okay, did it. Okay. So it's what you expect, you know. Its devices aren't going to be perfect and stuff like that. So I just found it pretty interesting because I thought I had it licked, but all I can attribute it to, I did a Wi-Fi and I did a 3G and I waited, and I think this one I didn't wait. So I'm going to still play around with it. But I appreciate both yours, Adrian, and David's participation in this morning's Periscope on the golf course there. Okay, question number 6. Who says, quote, confiscate and be brothered these dwarves? Confiscate and be brothered these dwarves. Who said that? This could be an easy one. Gimli? No. Close. Not a dwarf. And that should give the answer to Adrian. Confiscate and behold these dwarfs. So it's somebody talking about the dwarfs. And it's a little person. I just gave it away right there. And with the silence, I'm... Hi, yes. Hobbits? Close. It was a hobbit. Who says, confiscate and behold these dwarfs? These words are spoken not by a certain contemporary American president, though it sounds like it, Elves, no. But by Bilbo Baggins. That's a quote from Bilbo Baggins. Confiscate and behold these dwarves. I think that might have been when they first met, when they were rampaging his house, when they were being entertained and fed by Bilbo. Okay, question number 7. Which mighty traitor wizard kidnapped Gandalf? Oh, we should know this. You should know this, Adrian, because it pertains to one of the towers, isn't it? Who was it? Which mighty... Oh, you didn't read The Hobbit, though, did you, Adrian? And The Lord of the Rings? Thus the clueless answer, right? What mighty traitor... What mighty... None of them, okay. But this pertains to the towers, okay? One of the towers. What mighty traitor wizard, right there, that gives it away right there, kidnaps Gandalf? You should get this one, David. Then I'll put you one up on Adrian. Do you know who it was? Bilbo. Black Wizard. No, not the Black Wizard, the White Wizard. Saruman. Sauron. Thank you. That was my daughter correcting my pronunciation. Sauron the White, the chief of the Order of Istar. So is Sauron. Because he put him up, I believe, Gandalf was at the top of the tower where he eventually got rescued by one of the eagles when he escaped. Question number 8. Oh, let me see something. Who first speaks the much, quote, who first speaks in the tower remembered from the film? Yes, exactly, David. He was trapped up in the tower. The other tower is a water tower, by the way. Oh, okay. They are impressive, though. You know, one would not think it's a water tower. Just they just tower up and very impressive. Let's see. Who first speaks the much following quote? And he that breaks a thing to find out what it is has left the path of wisdom. Ooh, I like that saying. Who speaks the following quote? Quote, and he that breaks a thing to find out what it is has left the path of wisdom. That's a pretty powerful quote right there. I like that. Who first speaks that? Any answers? Is it? It is the wizard. It is a wizard. Which one, though? I'll give you a hint there, okay? Because, Adrian, you're close. I'll give you half a point for that one. I'll give you half a point, Adrian, for that, because you said wizard. Can you get the other half, David? White. No. Actually, I think at that time he was gray. With these words, Gandalf admonishes Sauron to change his ways. To Sauron's claim that white light can be broken, Gandalf retorts that it then is no longer white light. Remember, Sauron, he changes. He turns from good to evil because of the ring, the power of the ring in the dark, in the Lord of the Rings. And he was a good wizard at first, but then he was turned. So that's a good quote. That's an interesting quote. I like that. And he that breaks a thing to find out what it is. So Sauron, he's breaking the white light to check out the dark light, which is bad. Has left the path of wisdom, which he went to the dark side in a sense. You could almost call that a Star Wars analogy right there. Right? I know, Adrian, you haven't seen Star Wars either. Okay. Oh, let's see. Question number... Nope. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Not a clue. Okay. Well, David? You've seen Star Wars, haven't you? You must have. You got all the costumes there in the shop. You know, you got the dark and the white. You got, what do they call them? I can't even think of it because I'm focusing in on Lord of the Rings with elves and dwarfs and Actually, I did when I was little. Okay, clone troopers, yeah. But you had who was the big bad guy there? Luke's father. He was dark, and Luke was good, so to speak. But Darth Vader, yeah. But Darth Vader, in the end, he ended up turning back from bad to good. Okay, question number 9. Like book 1, book 2 of The Lord of the Rings begins with a party. It was, in whose honor is this gala held? Who was the party for? Like in book 1, book 2 of The Lord of the Rings begins with a party. It does. In whose honor is the gala held? Any answers? Who the honored guests were at this party in book 2? David is the party king. Yes, that's true. Bilbo. Okay, I like Andrew. I like Adrian's answer because you got Party City. You got the that's. Oh, you know what? Oh man, you just reminded me. You just reminded me, David. Let's see. Let's see if I can bring this up real quick. Clueless again? Hang with me for a minute, please. Because that answer is the answer of this episode. And Adrian? Yes, there we go. That's for you, Adrian. David's the party king. That was good. I said I was going to have it, and there it is. The clap machine. Very good. Adrian, I like that answer. David, you're the party king. I like that. Good answer. You don't get any points for it, though. Okay, like book 1, book 2 of Lord of the Rings begins with the party. In whose honor is the gala? The answer is, after Elrond nurses Frodo back to health, Adrian, Turbo Stream, you're the man. Yes, I'm here all week. That's good. After Elrond nurses Frodo back to health, a feast is held to celebrate the great victory at Bruin Ford. That's where the water washed away the dark Black Riders. The guests of honor are, of course, the 4 hobbits: Frodo, Merry, Pippin, and Sam. Okay. Man, sorry. No problem. I understood what you meant. Adrian is the man. There you go. Okay, question number 10, our last question. And I'll get us right towards the 30-minute mark here. What is the longest chapter in The Lord of the Rings? And Adrian, you didn't read it, so you're going to take a guess at it. David, I'm not sure if you read the and I can't remember which one it was. What is the longest chapter? Chapter 20. No, you're off a little bit there. Any answers, David? What is the longest chapter in The Lord of the Rings? No, never read it. 6. Okay, take a stab at 6. Actually, you were closer, so I'm going to give you half a point, so you're both tied. Book 2, Chapter 2, The Council of Elrond. And I bet you Greg would have got that. And probably Greg from Alaska. So that's question number 10. We got 10 questions, and I think, no, we probably got 2 more shows. I think we got another week before we finish. We're getting there. We're on page 93 of, how many pages is in here? Page 93 of 124. We are clueless. Yes, we are clueless. So we're on page 93 of 124. So this may take us the rest of this month going into because we still have one little section that goes roads go on forever after this current section. So it might go right. We'll probably finish this up towards the end of August is when I'm looking at the schedule. So I'm going to continue with the Tolkien Trivia Tuesday, and I'm grateful to have David from Ireland and Adrian from Cork in today's episode number 18. Very greatly appreciated of you guys attending. I know on the and that's for you guys. Thank you. It's always great and it's always fun having you. I know Greg will probably be watching this on the replay on the YouTube. It's always great fun. Exactly, David, and that's why we're doing it. And I greatly appreciate your time as far as doing this. I know if you're not here, I do see that you take the time to look at the replay, and that is greatly appreciated. That means a lot. You know, if I get one view and it's you guys are viewing it, that's worth a million. I really greatly appreciate it and stuff, and it's all worth. I have fun doing this. I think I probably will be reading some more of Tolkien. Probably not on Periscope. I got something else planned. It's more towards, I don't know, children, I guess, in a sense that I'm looking at. But I'm continuing having fun with the Periscope. And by you guys taking part, the audience, David and Adrian, as well as Greg, learn a little every week. Yes, and I do too. Because, like I said, I'm in territory where I don't really look at the next week's question, or Thursday's questions are right there. I probably won't look at them until maybe 30 minutes before, or else it's just open the book and I'm just as clueless as you guys on the answers. That's why we need Greg here. And we do learn a little bit each week and stuff like that. That's pushing at about 32 minutes on this particular broadcast. Again, I really greatly appreciate your time spent here, David and Adrian, and as well as the people that will be watching this on the replay. We do have fun, and we'll be looking forward to Tolkien Trivia Thursday in a couple days, and probably get a scope in. If not, I'm up there on audio right now. If you guys, if there's nothing going on the Periscope, have a great evening. Thanks, Emil. Thank you, David. Sorry the phone rang, my old teacher. Okay, no problem. But there is something going on out there in Idaho with Robert Scoble. You guys might want to check it out, Robert Scoble or Scotty Vest on Periscope. Just some tech stuff. Just throw that. I was up there. I watched this morning earlier, and it was pretty interesting. I had on the iPad Mini. I had Scott Jordan, the CEO of his Periscope. I had Robert Scoble on the Android phone, and then I was watching the Ustream they have on the on their webpage. And actually, the audio boo that I did this morning, it has a link to the webpage, so that'll give you the information real quick there. That's it. That's it in a nutshell there. Go to my audio boo, and you don't play it. The link's right there in the comments, and that'll drive you to if you guys don't have anything else. Probably Paul Omani blog will probably be broadcasting here in a little bit with his Leaves of Grass with Walt Whitman. So with that, I'm going to say thank you again. Greatly appreciated. And one last time before we leave, I'm going to say thank you to you guys. Greatly appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Bye all from David. And Adrian goes, I am listening to on audio, but I will listen. Bye, David. Okay, you guys take care. Live life. Have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace.